Hey y'all. So happy full moon in Libra. That was yesterday. Sorry, I'm a little late. It's been that kind of world lately. Allergies, head cold, being slow at the house. Yeah, just one of those things, man. I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the juice this past weekend. But I hope you're having a fun time. And let me think. So for Libra, I'm already shuffling. So everybody knows I've surrounded myself with protection. I have grounded into the earth, and I'm going to set my attention on who I'm contacting to pull this divine truth from, right? The guidance and all that stuff that we need to heal, kind of related to this full moon in Libra energy that we're getting right now. So I'm going to just say it for the record. My intention is to connect with divine truth, divine source, so that we receive the messages that are most helpful and healing at this time. It's so that we can, I can help, to love, to serve, to heal, and yeah, to help, to heal, to love, to serve. Boy, I'm a little off today. Zyrtec or allergy confusion is real. Okay. And so let's see what's up. Okay, and sometimes they just don't chop out when I chop them. Oh, that one was a flyer. Oh, let's see what it is. Sorry, didn't mean to hide it from you. Okay, we got the siren. Ooh. There's another flyer. That one is the desert. Interesting. I'm going to go. Oh, that one did fly. Okay, so we got our winner. Oh, there came two. The unseen and the warrior. Ooh. So, very interesting pull today, you guys. So the Libra, I don't know where you guys have it in your chart. And for those of you who haven't seen your birth chart before, you've got planets at the time of birth. I mean, they could have been anywhere at the time of your birth, right? They could be like on the other side of the world, could have been right above you, like high noon position, could have been at the sunset, could have been at the sunrise. And all those things have significance. That's the idea in astrology. I was really poo-pooey about astrology at first, and now I'm like, oh my God, it's so interesting. Now, I think these are energies that we can take advantage of. We don't necessarily have to. We're not subject to the pull of these planets. We really do have free will, but it's definitely got a certain inkling to things. And I like to work with inkles. I like to work with heavenly inkles. So I pay attention to it. But so Libra full moon, to me, that's a lot of like partnership, equality, balance. I think it's just a lot of balance. And it's an air sign, so it's communication, that sort of thing. So let me look at the first one. And I kind of set it in like I don't know if y'all can quite see, like I have a kind of a set it like as a 4 little diamond little thing here. And I put the siren on the left, and I kind of did that without even thinking. So let's just see what happens. X5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. It says the temptress, the seducer, the femme fatale. So when you are in light, the vibe of light, this is going to feel like awakened sensuality, arousal, that sort of thing. It's kind of, but in a good way. This is so funny. The siren calls and the world spins. What we thought we wanted pales in comparison to the sweet allure of her song. We find ourselves lost in a spell of desire and longing, perhaps even lust. Whether the thing calling to us is ultimately good or bad is somewhat irrelevant. It's the journey that matters. And the work of the siren is to take us on a deep psychic descent. Following her song, we go down, down, down to a place where lessons are learned and courage must be rallied in order to find our way back to dry land. Try as we might, resisting the call may not even be an option unless, like Odysseus, we bind our hands to the mast of our ship. It's likely, though, the falling for her call is the only way we will come to live more fully on the surface. Ooh, that's beautiful. Okay, so there are things in life that happen. Oh, and this says when it's in darkness, when we're resisting this energy and we're kind of this sort of thing. We're going to be in wickedness. We're going to be in wreckage, betrayal, that sort of insatiability. That kind of, it's like the devil card. It's that whole addiction thing. When we have this like, I guess we all kind of consider it like lusty, like physical, like, but it's more than that. If you've got this certain thing, like you have to have X amount of money in your bank account, that kind of drive, like, I'm not happy unless I have that. I know people who are extremely like uber focused on 3D accumulation, and that certain like benchmarks meant I did a good job or I can exhale. And what they're finding out is when they get to that benchmark, they're not exhaling. And it's just like this, like, it creates this like more and more dramatic, like insatiability. It's Babylon calling. It's that stuff. So we kind of have to look at that. That can come in through 3D yearnings, or sometimes we get this like struck by someone that you didn't expect to have feelings for. That can happen in two ways, right? Either relationships or things. And the thing could be starting your own business. We get a little crazy into it. We get a little, so anytime we're like imbalanced, we're uber focused. I'm getting the download that we could be led toward opening our own spiritual business, say. But if we so focus on it and then we're not doing balanced steps, and we're like not listening to people and our family and the pace that they need maybe in that change toward getting that business going more full time, like you can create a lot of problems. And that's the siren. That's this like beautiful, like you feel the energy of it, like, and you want to go toward it. And it's, it can just get you energetically off. Like you're just off. You're too into it. Have you ever had like an insatiable crush that kind of surprised you? You're like, oh, that is kind of something there to take note. And now regarding relationship crushes, I would say, take a breather. Are you projecting like your ideals upon that person versus the 3D of that person? Because we've all got shit. We've all got baggage and shit and bad moments, and we're not perfect. And then the other part of that attraction to that person is likely something in your life that you are not doing for yourself, for your soul. Like if you like somebody and you just like that masculine energy, you're like, okay, well then what part of my life do I need to like oomph my masculine energy in? Maybe I've been taking too much of a back seat. I've become codependent in my current relationships, and I need to like create that myself. I need to oomph that myself. Like I need to power it up versus thinking there's a problem with your current relationship because, well, we have power to change the relationship to what we want in most times, most cases, right? And whereas you see this other person, you're like, oh, what I could be totally I can really feel my power with this person. It's like, it's not the person, it's you. So, it's the whole realization that these things, these sparks are going to show what you need to start doing in your life. Sorry, guys, if y'all hear anything in the background, it's my crazy dogs like burrowing in my bed. Anyway, it needs to like show you what you'd want in your life in terms of an energy that you're not maybe taking advantage of or fostering or building up, either in terms of like a soul thing, like my personality typing, like if you're lit up by other people, like, okay, what are they doing that I'm not doing that maybe I want, And the other thing is, anytime we are kind of getting this siren, like, ooh, I really want this in my life, like how uber focused are we on it? I have done that. Hold on one second. God love dogs. I have done that with my spiritual path. I just kind of got uber on it, and I think my attitude was, if anybody doesn't like it, they can GTFO, and I think that is I understand that I have a power to feel what I want to feel, to believe what I want to believe, and yeah, other people don't matter. But there's a bit of a dance there when you have significant others, when you have family members that are living with you, that, you kind of can't come off as uber dogmatic and on your pulpit all the time. Okay. I'm saying that to myself. I had to learn a little bit to chill it out and just to, soften my communication and just do it for me and not do it for this, like, I need to justify it and talk about it, that kind of stuff. So anyway, a lot in that one, a little message, wasn't there? Okay. Then I have the desert, and I had the warrior underneath it. So let's see. Let me look at the desert. And that sorry, slamming the book here. 5, 6, 7. The desert is the drought, the wasteland, the badlands. The desert leaves us disoriented, desperate for direction, grasping for meaning, longing for solid ground. For endless miles, we are confronted with a lack of clarity and existential dread. God, I can't say that word. We are thirsty, hungry, pleading with life to get back to normal, to become animated by the simple pleasantries of day-to-day life. The desert offers no such comfort, and all must pass through it. If you can embrace the discomfort of the desert, knowing you will someday reach water again, you can tap into the potent energy of the landscape. Its lights are blindingly bright and its darks terrifyingly deep, which makes for unbridled creativity and clairvoyant visions. Truths reside in the desert that otherwise remain hidden. The crows, the shadows, and the coyotes' call surround you. Let the winds and sands work their deep magic, weary traveler. So this is what kind of happens. So we get lit. We realize something we want, and then we kind of realize it's not there in our space. And like, how can I get this? And like, you're resolving like, okay, then like, I'm having all these strong feelings. Like, what is behind them? How can I be balanced as I approach these? Or how can I like chill out my vibes toward that person? So I kind of realize my power in this and like really be healthy and whole in my approach toward it. So that's this desert thing. This is like, you know, you have to pull back and look at things. And that means kind of looking at your shadows, where you're kind of hurting yourself. It's just a lot of that introspection. Anytime we have an extreme, like it is a bit of a, like, hold on, let me look what's behind here. Especially right now when we have a lot of Neptunian influences. Neptune is beautiful, but it can be like a little more blinding and like, just like beer goggles, okay? So we don't want to look at people with beer goggles. And that means we got to be a little dry. We got to dry out. And so that kind of goes with this. The desert. You just got to look at things kind of as they are and just know this isn't like a I need to move forward and make moves kind of thing. This is a hold back and let me review stuff. And then the warrior, which is underneath this, let's see what that means. I think it just is really freaking tough to be in that space when you feel all this energy to move toward and you're like, I gotta hold this back. And like really all of that, especially for if it's an infatuation with another person, like that is energy that you can claim for yourself. And what I've done in terms of like chakra energy movement, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. If any of you kind of look up chakras and see where the energy points are, if you move it from the sacral, which is the orange light on the pictures of the chakras online, I see it moving up to the yellow. And when you feel kind of overwhelmed with those feelings, and then maybe moving up to the green, which is your heart space, just to kind of like bring it toward you in another direction. So you're not like all in the sexual zone. You're kind of like, okay, this is my empowerment. And this is like my heart. Like my heart is like I can turn this I can turn these deep feelings into unconditional love, that somehow their soul is here to kind of show me something. And I'm thankful for that, or this opportunity or this desire within me is going, bring it up to the heart chakra. You're just kind of looking at things like, I'm learning lessons. I can love, it's like a different perspective rather than this, like, I need it kind of energy. I don't know. I'm just going to throw that out there. So the warrior, it says, the samurai, the soldier, the advocate. And it says, when in light, it's fierce clarity, purposeful action, resolve, resilience. When in dark, it's threats, savagery, abandoning mission and values. That's the thing. When we get so like frenzied, y'all, we're off rail. We are off rail. It is not divine passion. I mean, I don't want to blame everything on divine passion. That can kind of happen and be intense and crazy. But like learning how to manage it and settle it down and knowing that it's actually your power that you need to kind of manage and move so that it's not making your mind go, making some crazy decisions really quickly. The warrior is that. It's like when we tame it, we can get really clear about stuff. We can get in our highest and best kind of perspective and like I feel this power, but I need healed people in my life. So I know that I'm attracted, but I see that they're damaged and I don't want to be going down that road for those who are single and looking for relationships. It's like that kind of this perspective. It's like, I see that I'm attracted to this type, but I'm holding back going for that because I realize in 3D I'm seeing some problems and I know I deserve a healed. So it's that kind of like warrior, I'm waiting, or that's not the bar. And the other thing is like, if if it's like you're being really supercharged to go do a spiritual business or go in some direction and you're feeling like, you know, and you want to make moves, you may kind of feeling frantic about it, then it's this, okay, let me bring that energy up to my heart chakra. Okay, I do have a family. I have to balance. I'm going to just see this as like such divine love for and creation about what I can do, and like maybe use it toward inspiration, maybe move that energy back up, even up to your third eye chakra. See if you get any kind of ideas about your business and other things that you can do in time. Because it's all about these energies. We need to realize we can settle down and like it will come in time. Divine timing will work out. But we do have to trigger the warrior, trigger the desert trail, and like chill out and process and look within and slow down. And it's going to work out. It's going to work out. So the warrior, it says, we often envision the warrior, sorry, I'll bring it up, as an armored figure with a sword in hand moving blindly toward battle. Yet the deeper aspects of this archetype bring us face to face with death itself. The warrior stands precariously at the edge of life and death. Sorry, let me get this closer here. Trusting that the eternal will guide them to guide the sword's blade. The warrior's work requires presence, alignment, and purpose. If and when the warrior loses its center, meaningless confrontations and violence are often the default response. When this card appears, it is important to question the battle at hand. Is it likely a great one with deep roots of long-standing tensions? It is likely a great one with deep roots and long-standing tensions. The actions you take will stay with you long after the dust settles, so choose wisely, brave one. As you draw your sword, realign with the eternal wisdom within, then surrender to the battle. This tells me we're about to hit some eclipses, right? So we're going to be like, oh shit, I want this. Oh, or I don't. But I feel like it's more of like, I really want this. Those kind of energies. Either be 3D in relationships or whatnot. And what we have to do so that we move forward in good energy, highest and best kind of intentions, is to remember to like, it's almost like the palm. It's like, hold up. Let me get some, hold on. Let me get some information. Let me look at what's behind this. Let me look at how I can be balanced through this. And to do that, when you've got like this, like divine passion riled, I mean, that takes resolve. To like chill out is going to happen in time. I need to calm my thoughts. I just need to know that my divine spark was lit. And now how can I manage that? How can I go through to the next phase in a good way, in a healthy way, that we're not making crazy arguments. We're not like dumping things that we shouldn't be before it was time. It's just like this like settled down kind of chill vibe, but with a spiritual intent of like, I'm trying to see my issues. I'm trying to see real clarity in the situation. Maybe this business that I think is going to be so easy if I just start right now and I just need to throw in X amount of money to it and blah, blah, blah. But if you need, this message is saying, hold up, let's make sure you have the suppliers in line, that those expenses aren't going to be double because of some crazy change that's coming, you know, that kind of stuff. It's like a hold up, just watch and look at things for a little bit of time. And then we move into the unseen. Okay, let me look at that one. So the unseen, which I kind of feel like I was inkling at when I was like, hey, I feel like this is all going to work out. It's this analysis that we need to just kind of, you're not missing the boat. The boat's going to be there. It'll pick you up. Okay. The unseen is the spirit, the ancestor, the eternal. And when in light, your clairvoyant guidance, you receive clairvoyant guidance, or you get whispers of wisdom. When in dark, you get dark looming energy, unwillingness to forgive. And the unseen is just as it sounds. We cannot see it, yet it sees us, watching and waiting, with wisdom both kind and instructive. We feel this presence, sense it, intuit it, and then doubt its existence, though it rallies our attention time and time again. The energy of the unseen may come in many forms: a compelling dream, a sudden insight, a clear voice, a vision or message from a loved one who has passed to the other side. It is natural to fear those communications as they challenge our perception of what is real. When this card appears, your guides are near. The eternal is present. The doorway between worlds is ajar. Listen. The sounds may seem as though they come from a distant land, but they call from your innermost chambers. This is so pretty. So when we get through this warrior and desert, we're like finally, we're like really close to God, to receiving downloads, to getting the next path. And that's where I feel like this is it. This is this little development. It's kind of funny how it kind of was like the siren, the desert and warrior, which I feel like happened at the same time, like, you know, like this. And then we got the unseen, which is next, which is kind of like when you do that, you're going to receive messages on how to move. You know, a lot of times I just feel like on big ticket items too, some things are just destined to happen. And I kind of relax and just know if I have the intention of being in my highest and best for the highest and best of all involved, right? Beyond even me. And that I really like release that to God. Like this unseen isn't scary. You really can just be like, okay, I trust that it's for my highest and best. And I'm going to relax. And I'm going to relax in this process that even though it looks deserty, like this is going to be a dry time, that for some reason this process brings up things that I need to deal with. And I have to be strong to get through it. And then you get like the movement. So just know that that's okay. And that's what's supposed to happen. Man, those archetype cards kick my ass every time. I'm like, I'm feeling this message, y'all. I feel like I'm talking to myself. Okay, so this next one I'm using, can't remember if I showed y'all. Okay, so that was the archetype deck by Kim Kranz. My BFF in my head. Love her. And then the other one I'm about to use right now, which is a little dark, it's a little scorpionic, is, there we go, the El Goliath Tarot deck, and it's 2nd edition. This guy does his own deck. It's really great. I'm like really impressed with his drawings alone. And then like the messages are wonderful, but they are big cards. So just be with me. I gotta be clumsy here. Yeah, man, I hope y'all are having a good time. I feel like although all our planets are direct, I think until April 29th when Pluto starts going retro, and as a Scorpio ascendant, I'm like, oh great, one of my ruling, planets are about to go retrograde, so it's okay. I'll deal. What are you gonna do? But so this is a great little opportunity to like start whatever you get as a download before these eclipses, because eclipses are at the end of the month, I think on the 30th. So like start like a little bit of it. Get a little bit of something written out. I feel like putting a little seed out there before anything goes retrograde, just to kind of be like all energy and just kind of look at it, and gives you a little bit of a seed for you to kind of like think of in the next few months. So if you have like a, whatever this siren call was for you, if it be a 3D kind of thing, desire, or if it is a relationship, just start writing about it. In terms of what you want. And that's all. It's always about the energy of what you want, right? Because that's how we call in things. The energy versus the 3D specific part. And I've talked about that on other readings, so just look at it. I don't want to go into it right now. I'm too talky. I think it'll be too talky. Let me see if they'll come out when I check. Oh, that one was a flyer. Let me see. I only want to get 3 too. Oh, lovers. That's the choice. That is a big soul choice. It also implies romantic. So you guys might be feeling a lot of relationship stuff right now. It happens. It's life. Doesn't want to pop. I'm trying not to look at it. There we go. There's one. Okay. Ace of Swords. That is like a new understanding. Divine, like, oh, gotcha. This shit ain't working, or this shit is, and I need to be better about it. Ooh, lovely. Okay, maybe it's that shit ain't working. I get the 5 of Swords and Karmic Soul Tribe, the family. Ooh, okay. And this doesn't have to always be a realization of like in terms of relationships. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, I see someone, I want that person. It's more like this also could be like, this relationship in particular is really painful to me. What the F is going on? How do I look at this? And so regarding that, it could be either way. And if it's something that's not going on, I think, again, that's not going well. Take the analysis of like your part in this. Are you making yourself empowered to state what you want, your wishes, your dreams, your desires, your like how honest have you been? How honest are you about your state of healing and where you're at, and being open to receive love? Are you closed off? That's a huge thing. Like, we feel that from each other. And when someone doesn't feel like they can receive love, the other person feels like, oh shoot, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to be nurturing to them as much, because you just get that vibe. So you really create your own reality in terms of relationships. So if you've got some pushback, now I will say that, but I understand that there are some that are so karmic, some people, and they're in our lives so that we see that they are just repeat offenders and they're not coming around and they need to be removed. Okay, we've had to do that. I've had to do that in my life with various people, friends and family. It's just something that happens, okay? And so that analysis is a decision. The Lovers. The alchemical heart is what he says. So, but this is like a big moment decision. And this Ace of Swords is like, you're going to get a download about whether or not you feel like this is a healing thing that can be healed or not, fairly soon, probably in the next few months, sort of thing. And so just be open to it, and don't be scared, and just kind of like, just go back into that relaxation of like, what's meant to happen will happen. And to go slow. Again, you're in the desert and the warrior thing. You're kind of going to have time to like review things, to look at things, to absorb it, see things, look at your own stuff involved, and especially in the relationship stuff. I'm always a proponent for getting therapy, I'm telling you guys. Divination is great, but I have personally had months of therapy too in my life at various times, and it's been so good. It's really helpful. And then the last two cards that kind of popped out at once were Five of Swords and the Karmic Soul Tribe. And although it says Karmic Soul Tribe, karmic to me can kind of, and maybe I'm not using it right myself, but to me I kind of say it can be karmic, meaning like we had lessons we agreed to do. And they could be good lessons from good people, or they could be rough lessons from people that are more soul aggressors that, you know, probably need to get removed. And I think they can be lovely souls too, right? But just the two, that person's energy with my energy ain't gonna work anymore. That kind of stuff. So especially with it coming out with Five of Swords makes me think that we're looking at even people to remove. And I've said this before in other things, that we have like a plate of, say this is my relationship plate, right? And if I'm allowing crappy people who are triggering me, that are, you know, I am no longer being triggering. Okay, I'm trying not to like involve in that, right? Like I'm trying to be like, okay, God bless you. I'm trying to be separate from you. But like I can tell that they're just constantly in that still cycle, and I just need to kind of get away from it so that I don't bring my energy down by it. That's this kind of Five of Swords energy, when you just know that we're two different people. There's going to be groups of people for them. It doesn't mean one's better than the other. Just our two just don't match anymore. And so this is the feeling of it. And when it's in a close romantic relationship, that's really difficult. It's really difficult because if you're watching this video, you probably have some spiritual tendencies, and sometimes the partner doesn't. And that might take time to heal and will resolve itself, and sometimes it doesn't. But at the least, you're kind of probably being shown, okay, maybe it's not matching at all engines right now. And that's okay. And know that the reason you guys are together or having this experience is that there were agreements ahead of time. These are like lessons to learn. So slow down and look at things. Don't be in a rush to react. Just kind of slow down and look at your life and look at how you're doing. And what am I doing that's not either speaking my truth or being open to receive love and give love? And can I look at the world from this like soul perspective? Can I look at my world from the soul perspective, so that I'm not so triggered about like my ego stuff and my feelings and all that stuff, but like more like, okay, what are we trying to work on here? What lessons are we working out? You know, and what's really behind this conflict, and how much of that is mine? So therapy is great to like put together. This just feels like a very relationship heavy thing. That be careful of the siren energy. It's beautiful, lights you up, gets you into this next rebirth energy, right? This is great, but you got to be able to manage it. Slow down, look at things, look at your own shit, because you will, if you slow down and make this choice to look at your own shit, you're going to be shown it. I think this Ace of Swords comes in when you're like, okay, I understand I have a problem with this person. I really want to see my involvement in this source. Show me. I'm open to see it. And then the Five of Swords might be, oh crap, I didn't realize I was doing that. Oh crap. I don't realize that, you know, I don't watch for how I'm being interpreted when I say certain comments like, oh, I need to watch how I communicate. I need to change this pattern in how I communicate. I mean, it might be coming back at you. But you know, we're supposed to get better. We're not perfect. So don't be afraid of the constructive criticism from the spirit that comes through. And just remember this, like we made agreements upstairs. As much as like the difficulty is like right now, on some level, even those people I've like kind of separated from, I'm like, I realize that we made agreements up there. I respect them. I send them love on that behalf. I respect the fact that they have actually triggered some healing for me, helped me out a ton, and I send them love and light for that. Don't want to touch them with a 10-foot pole, but you know what? I send them love and light for that. And that's kind of what I mean. This karmic soul tribe. And I hope that maybe it's not the bad stuff, but rough relationships that are popping up for you. Hopefully it's more of the happiness and like looking at what's inspiring to you and kind of getting into that mojo is fun. I hope it's more of that. But if it's the hard stuff, it might be there. Just know you can always help that by focusing on the stuff that does light you up. And remember, it's all going to work out. The unseen, it's going to work out. That is it. Let's just try to keep high vibe about it, right? Well, that's the reading for today, y'all. I hope this helps with your full moon, Libra full moon energy. Yeah, sorry again for being a tad late, but you know, life. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Y'all take care.